Hey everyone, just another quick update. I've gone ahead and glued the fuselage together. Pardon me. I went a little bit overboard with the glue, but you know, that's nothing that a little sandpaper can't fix. If you take a look inside, the hull is quite hollow, so there's lots of room inside for the LEDs. And the underside of the ship gets closed up by the wings, so there's no seams that really even need to be dealt with because all of the joints, or all the parts join on natural panel lines. I don't know, maybe they took a hint from Bandai with some of their master grade kits, the way they do that. But it all closes up really well. The parts fit is just perfect. And you can see on the underside here there's a socket for a stand. The stand itself I've already shown you before, but it's got this little plug on the top that attaches to the ball joint. Here, I'll show you. It fits directly into the socket and allows for, you know, rotation and full range of movement on the base. But since I'm probably not going to use that base, since there's nowhere to attach a power supply or run the wires through, I'm going to set it aside and use something else. Probably a brass tube that'll fit this hole. And then once that's done, once I've got the base ready to go, then it'll be a simple matter to run the wires up through that little hole and up into the ship. I think, based on the plan of action I've got in my head so far, I only am going to need 4 LEDs on 2 different circuits inside the ship, while the rest will go off into the wings. So I'll need to have only a couple of wires coming up into the ship, and then a few more running down each wing. So this little, on the underside here, this little plate actually is designed to be sandwiched between the 2 hull halves, but I carved out the trench so that it can snap in and out. And I think I'm going to actually use this to mount the LEDs directly to it, so that I can plug it in, glue it in place, and it's good to go. And then the wing itself, it just has the 4 pegs that match the 4 holes. It just fits directly together, nice and easy, and it's very stable. So now that that's sorry, I'm just trying to pop it back apart. It fits actually quite tight. Now that the fuselage is glued together, I've got to give it a good sanding, fix up the seams. Then I'll glue the command ship in place. Right now it's just setting there, and give it a paint job. Once it's painted, then I'll be able to use the where did it go? The micro crystal clear to make all the windows. And I've never used the stuff, so I'm pretty nervous, but I am crossing my fingers that nothing's going to go wrong. And then once that's all done, then I'll worry about the installing the electronics once my LEDs actually get here. In the meantime, though, I do have a couple baggies of LEDs that unfortunately I can't use for this project. They're the wrong colors. Those ones are red, and I have some other, I think some yellow ones lying around, and this ship doesn't use either of those colors. So what I want to be able to do is put together some very basic tutorials for how I light a model. See here, I use a technique called wire wrapping rather than soldering. It's faster, and I find that it's just more effective. And this is the tool I use. Oops. It's called a wire wrapping tool. I'll go into a little more detail about how it works in a later video, but it's a technique that I've been using for about 1.5 years. My Star Destroyer, my Runabout, and my 1701A were done almost exclusively using wire wrap as opposed to soldered connections. Because solder just takes a lot of time. It's messy. If you can drip a blob of solder and you can damage your paint job, or it might melt the plastic, or any number of things can go wrong. I mean, this is pretty much an idiot-proof technique if you know how to do it. So I'll get onto that probably in a couple days. I want to try and get a video out about once a day or every other day at most, showcasing some kind of new technique or new setup or something, or at the very least just, you know, marking my progress on where I'm at. So stay tuned for that, and happy modeling out there.